What is going on, folks? It is Dr. Remy LeBeau, and I'm coming at you once again from the X-Lair to provide you my deep and insightful thoughts on the X-Men post-Krakoa era. That's the era that we're in the comics. It's been over a year now. I wanted to like it, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I feel like it's a major step backwards from where we were. And I've got feelings about it, you know. I got thoughts, and I felt like I needed to put those thoughts down because it's been a while since I've posted anything on this channel. And, you know, I of course, like, once they start doing, like, more MCU X-Men stuff, I'm going to be talking about that shit because that's my favorite shit. Like, MCU stuff hasn't, like, you know, I mean, besides, obviously, Deadpool and Wolverine, even though in my mind I was about to say Wolverine and Deadpool. You know, Thunderbolts I enjoyed. You know, Captain America 4 was okay. So yeah, so things have been kind of lukewarm, but I'm very excited about Fantastic Four, like, very excited about it. And so I'm therefore very excited about Avengers Doomsday. And obviously we got the announcements of all the big X-Men characters coming back, you know, Alan Cummings as Nightcrawler, like, you know, Cyclops, like everybody. Obviously we haven't heard all the names yet, but you have to assume that all the the original Fox X-Men actors will be coming back, except for Anna Paquin. I seem to remember her being, like, physically debilitated by some sort of condition that she has. Hopefully that got resolved or is getting resolved or something. But if not, she might not be coming back. But if she was coming back and we saw her in, like, the big fucking 90s rogue hair with the big, like, white streak, talking like Sookie Stackhouse. And I just want to make sure that, yeah, we are recording, great. And like, being with Channing Tatum's Gambit, I mean, like, if that were to happen, it would be epic, but we might not get that. Anyway. So yeah, we found out all these actors are coming back. It's very exciting. I'm very excited about it. I can't wait to watch Doomsday, and then, of course, Secret Wars and whatever else is going to be related to all this. Okay, so that's stuff coming up, but, like, none of that's really out, so I can't, you know, I don't really talk about it because it's not really out or whatever. What is out is obviously comics. Like, comics have continued to come out. They've continued to make X-Men comics. This is a tender subject for me. I'm very disappointed with the current era of X-Men, like, very disappointed. So this is why I felt like I needed to get these thoughts down, and now here I am getting these thoughts down. Let me fuel up a bit. There's a bit of fuel there. Okay. The last video I did about the X-Men comics was right before the end of the Fall of X. So we were, like, somewhere towards the beginning or the middle. I'll try not to hit this here cabinet, which, by the way, look at this. We got Magneto with the helmet. That's a Jim Lee Magneto, Todd McFarlane. Up here we've got this is very cool. I just got this for my birthday. It is a Wolverine and Gambit doing the Charge Ball special, as I like to call it, from X-Men 97, you know, made kind of in a stylized, cartoony sort of way, but still very fucking awesome. Just got that in, and behind, up above them is Storm, from Todd McFarlane, basically from Marvel Tales number 236. There was a short run where Todd McFarlane did the covers for Marvel Tales, which basically, like, reprinted issues from different, you know, just lines, like Spider-Man comics, X-Men comics, whatever, Marvel Tales. They just reprinted classic comics. And McFarlane was doing covers, and he did some covers with Storm, which were the only X-Men images he ever drew. It was always Spider-Man related, and so now that he has his toy company and he got the Marvel license, he's been producing three-dimensional figures, representations of artwork that he did for Marvel years back. So he just did this one, which I was very excited about. I thought it was going to be bigger, but it wasn't. It's kind of small. It's like a 1/10 scale. But hopefully one day we get a bigger version, because I think it's amazing. Just the original artwork and the translation, I think, is fantastic. All right, folks. Let's talk about the X-Men, okay? Because it's like, I have feelings about the X-Men, you know? I want to love it so much. Like, I want to love it. I want to love it. I want to love it. That's why I keep going back to it every week, you know, buying my issues and all this stuff, like, because I want to love it, but I don't. I like Storm. I'm going to say this. Storm, I'm happy with. Like, the Storm comic book has been very good. Like, very, very good. Like, I look forward to it. I can't wait to read the next one as soon as it's out. Like, that's the first one I read that week. You know, so Storm is a winner. But come on. Like, that's 1 out of, like, what, 10? And by the way, Jesus Christ, there's too many fucking books. There's so many books. Like, sometimes there's, like, 7 in a week or something. It's like, come on. That's, like, a lot of books. That's too many books. Okay, so now we know what they were planning, right? Like, back when, you know, the Fall of X was happening, we all knew that it was going to end with Krakoa going away, and there was going to be a new status quo, and there's supposed to be a new plan, right? There's like a new editor, this Tom Brymore, I don't know his name. He's like he's a guy that's been publishing comics. It's not Tom Sizemore. That's an actor, I know. But it's Tom Brevoort or something? I don't know. He's like an editor, and he like came in and he had a plan. It's like, okay, so this was the plan. Ready, guys? This is the plan. Take away the thing that everybody loves, okay? Maybe the stories could be improved, so you could bring whole new creative teams in, but can keep that context. But no, let's get rid of the entire context. Krakoa, gone, okay? And let's take all your favorite characters that you love together, and let's split them up. All right? Okay, here we go. Let's split them up so, like, they're awesome dynamic that is the heart and soul of what you love about the X-Men. Gone! Let's do that. Let's get rid of that. And then we'll like kind of sprinkle a few here and there in like 5 books. And then we'll introduce a whole new batch of characters. A ton new characters. Just a bunch. That's a bunch. Even though in the X-Men universe, there are so many freaking characters already. A ton. And even though in this new status quo, you're leaving out like 70% of them. So characters that people would love to have in books, you're leaving them out. So, you know, yeah, just leave out all the stuff people like, stuff the books with stuff people may or may not like, and destroy the heart and soul of what makes it good. What? Like, no, wait, like, wait. What? I don't understand. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of vape here. I'm not a vapor, but, you know, on the weekends, whatever. Here we go. All right, guys. Phoenix! Jesus Christ, man. Oh, my God. Man! All right. first, we get Jean Grey back, right? Right before the Krakoan era started, X-Men Red. Jean's back. She's got her own series. Okay, cool, she's back. But fucking Cyclops is dead. Krakoa era starts. Cyclops is back. It was right before that, right? Cyclops came back right before. She brought him back. Anyway, it was the whole fucking thing. Krakoa starts. All your favorites are back. Yeah. Fuck yeah. I love all these fucking characters. They're all back. It's like a renaissance of like X-Men and the X-Men universe, because everyone that you've ever loved or hated is back, and everybody's together, and like all sorts of interesting, fun things can happen. I gotta stop hitting this thing. So things are good. Kill Jean again to bring back the Phoenix. Great. That makes perfect sense to me. That was in the Fall of X, right? Like, kill Jean to bring back Jean and bring the Phoenix back. Great. All right, fantastic. Oh, and by the way, now Jean and Scott are together, which is what you love. Jean and Scott are together. Okay. New era. Get rid of Krakoa. Huh? Why? Scott and Jean, who you love having together, are finally together. Let's split them up. Oh, and give Cyclops, and I'm sorry, whoever designed this fucking outfit, but give Cyclops a really ugly fucking outfit, because that shit is ugly. It's fucking ugly. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I don't like it. I want to like it. I don't like it at all. It's terrible. It's terrible. I know. Look, it's been over a year. This shit's been building up. I just needed to get it out. I know this is all sounding very dramatic, and ultimately it's just the X-Men. Like, we all know there's some crazy shit going on in the world, and the world is weird, and like, we all are dealing with our lives, and it's all a roller coaster, and there's a lot more things that are more important than this. Believe me, I know, but you can hear people talk about that shit anywhere. I'm here to bring you my thoughts on what's going on with X-Men comics. That's what I'm here to do. And in that context, I am bringing all of my emotions out, because this is how I feel about it. And I feel very strongly about this shit. Like, my heart was broken for, ever since when Disney bought Marvel, and then they basically tried to make X-Men unimportant in the comics because they didn't want to market their competitor Fox's characters. That whole period broke my heart. Marvel buys Fox, gets the film rights to the X-Men, Krakoa starts. So a celebration of, like, not only does it redeem what they did prior to that, but it elevated the overall epic nature of the story of mutants in this Marvel universe. It brought it to the next level. It was like the next chapter. Okay, look. And then you take that away, and I'm like, my mind is in 30 different places right now. And I also did just vape a bit. I'm going to take another one. Fuck it. I got shit to say, but it doesn't have to be like organized as though it's being presented to Congress. Because that would be ridiculous. This is just a stream of consciousness. I mean, we can call it a rant if we want, but I still love the X-Men. I mean, obviously, I like the Storm book. So I mean, the characters are still there. But anyway, going back to, okay, so they bring back, so they split up Jean and Scott. And then Jean's got her own book. Let's take Jean away from Earth. Why? Why are we doing this? Because she's the Phoenix, and she's like cosmic now. Yeah, but cosmic Marvel is like, ugh. It's never great. The only time it was great, and this was actually when I was reading it. I was reading Silver Surfer, and that led up to the Infinity Gauntlet. So that was epic. But I hung on for a while after that, and then I just dropped out because it was just like going in 30 different directions. Cosmic Marvel has never been great. Anyway, But fine. You want to take Jean away from Scott? Fine. You want to put her in space? Fine. Look, I don't know who the artist is in this book, and I'm sorry, and I don't mean to hurt their feelings in any way, but their art is terrible for this book. It's highly stylized. It's a cool style. I'm sure would work in a bunch of other contexts, but for the Phoenix, for Jean, it doesn't work. It's just, you're changing things. You're changing it too much to the point where it's almost unrecognizable. You're breaking the thing. You shouldn't be breaking the thing. You can stylize it. You can like kind of, extend its design to some, just a very clearly identifiable like variation, but to take it so far that it's almost unrecognizable to the original design, it's just going too far for me. And like, that's basically all I'm seeing as far as the art goes in that book, and it breaks my heart because like I'm seeing some really cool like costume design ideas, sort of evolutions, like this recent thing where she like she beat Thanos or something, so she leveled up and she got a new costume. Like, I mean, like the costume is actually pretty cool, but it's like, but she herself doesn't look like the Phoenix. So it's weird. It's I don't know, man. It's just like, there's so many things that are just being done wrong that it breaks my heart. Like, X Factor was not good. I did not like X Factor. I stopped reading X Force. I've hung on to X-Men and Uncanny X-Men. Exceptional X-Men is the best. In fact, Exceptional X-Men is probably the second best book. I do like Exceptional X-Men. I just don't like how many new characters there are in Exceptional X-Men. Like, let's make it about Kitty and Emma. Like, let's make it about them. That's enough. Like, you can have like one or two new characters and, Iceman, of course, and fucking, whoever else you want to have around, and make it mainly about Emma and Kitty. And that works. That's a great dynamic that, I loved it in Marauders. Obviously, they were both introduced in the same comic book. Like, they're inextricably tied forever. And so, therefore, they deserve the spotlight. Like, give it to them. But, like, we're giving it to, like, these new mutants. Like, like 3 over here, 5 over there, like 3. It's like, why? Why? Benjamin Percy's X-Force, with everything that happened with Beast, was insane, and I kind of loved it, The new X-Force was like mid. I don't know. Maybe I need to give her another chance, but I don't know. I didn't really read. I think I read like 4 issues, and I think there have been 9 or 10, and I think actually this current one, which is also the legacy number, X-Force number 300, which is wild. I bought X-Force number 1 off the rack when it was first out, and now this is number 300. Like, wow. So that was the last issue of the current volume because they canceled it. They canceled the title, Marvel, because obviously they weren't selling enough. So, it's like, when you're not making X-Force sellable, like, what's going on, X-Force. X-Force is like, it's like, take away all the ethics and, like, the familial dynamics, and just, leave some trauma bonding and have, like, just no holds barred, and you've got a book that satisfies a very particular audience, right? What about if, like, okay, Krakoa's done, like, what are they doing? They're hunting down the people that were taking out, like, mutants and Krakoans. Like, just, like, fucking exactly what happened with during post House of M decimation, when all the mutants lost their powers and the few mutants left were being exterminated, X-Force became like the Black Ops, like no holds barred, like we're gonna kill to stop people from killing mutants. Team. Let's go back to that, because like the mutant population is vulnerable now because even though there's a lot of them, they're scattered, they're not together, so people are going to be killed, people are going to be hunted, there's going to be stuff like, let's have X-Force just doing its like night missions thing, in the black and gray outfits again, Go to something that works, give it a modern spin, but it's like you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. And I feel like all they've done is try to reinvent the wheel in this period. And really all they've done is like made versions of wheels that have already existed, but mainly not great versions. The only thing that's been successful is Storm. Storm has never had a successful ongoing series, and now she does. Great. I'm very happy for her, for the book. I think it's magnificent. So this drives me wild, what I'm about to say. Let me take another drink. Let me take another hit of the vape. Because this is insanity, okay? Woo! All right. What the fuck is up with Arakko/Mars? Like, what is up with that? We have a planet that has been terraformed by the mutants. Apocalypse rules the planet. There are a lot of mutants there. And there is another living island there. I believe it's like a new one. There's a whole story behind that. I need to read all that stuff again. That was like the tail end of the Krakoan period. Nonetheless, I believe there is another living island there. Okay? Okay. Where's the book about them? Where's the book about Arakko? Where's X-Men Red? Where is it? Where is it? Huh? Why are you leaving out this entire portion of the X-Men universe? Why are you leaving it out? Why? What? You have this beautiful toy to play with that nobody's ever played with before. You're not going to do the exact same fucking thing that people have already done before. You're going to do something different. And like, it's in space, so why not connect it to Phoenix, Like, instead, you make Storm cosmic, which is interesting. And by the way, that's sort of an aspect of what is going on in the Storm book. It's very interesting and it's very celebratory of the character, which I really like. Okay, but you make her cosmic. It's like, you know what? There's like a mutant planet, Mars, that exists out there, ready to be done something with. Nobody's doing anything with that. Okay. Why not? Why are you introducing me to 12 new mutants that I don't care about? Because there's like 35 other mutants that I do care about, and I'm like, where the fuck are they? Or there's a bunch of mutants that I love, but they're not together because they're interacting with you people that I don't care about. So, Arakko, dude, like, I mean, look, when they ended Krakoa, they said that this ends the first era of Krakoa. Okay. All right. So that implies there's going to be another one. Okay. So they're kind of putting it in their back pocket. They're like, you know what? There's going to be another era, but we want to kind of maybe... This is the only thing I could think of if I were to think about, like, why do what they're doing? Because now what they could do is they can take time to really flesh out a story on another Krakoa to make it sustainable. You know, instead of just kind of having a bunch of people trying to invent the thing, it's like they've already done a run, and now, you know, you can learn a lot from what you did, and then you can kind of go into it again and see and have a plan for storylines that are interesting and also sustainable to, like, the overall interest in this new chapter, right? So if this whole period of time is for that, like, they're trying to they did research, now they're gonna hash out like the thing, and then they're gonna make a better version of the thing. If that's what this is about, all of us have taken the bullet. We've taken the bullet, and I will continue to. But hopefully it'll end soon. Like, hopefully they crack the nut soon. Now, on the other hand, that could not be the case. It could not be the case that they are doing that, and that they have some plan that's based on what they're doing now. And it's all very confusing, but and it hasn't been very good. Therefore, if the building blocks aren't good, how is the structure going to be good? But who knows? Maybe it will be good. I have no idea. But as of right now, it's not looking good. That's all I'm saying. I don't look forward to X-Men books anymore. But it's cool. Like, that Marvel Rivals, I don't play it, but I heard that there was like a Krakoa like section. And I saw like a YouTube video of like a playthrough. And I was like, wow, this is fucking awesome. It's like, they did it, you know, however long. Obviously, they probably made the decision to include that, like, I don't know, 4 years ago, and then it took that long to develop it, maybe? I don't know. But currently, I mean, obviously, they wanted to get rid of Krakoa in the comics. They left open the door for another Krakoa, but right now it doesn't look like anything but whatever it looks like, which is not good. But then they do this thing in this game, and it's so laudatory of Krakoa that it's just sending mixed signals. Like, well, what is actually going on here? You know, like in the ideal world that I would like to happen, the MCU X-Men post Secret Wars, if indeed Secret Wars is, you know, kind of the Crisis on Infinite Earths conclusion / Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars conclusion, where all of the realities merge into one. If Secret Wars really is that for the MCU, and we get a new permanent universe with all the characters in it, and probably a lot of new versions of a lot of familiar ones, including the X-Men. I'm sure there'll be a whole new cast of people being the characters. You know, hopefully Henry Cavill is Wolverine. God damn, that'd be amazing. But anyway, so in that new universe, wait, I lost my train of thought. What I'm hoping is that Krakoa will be that new universe. That's what I'm hoping. Like, they go into a new universe, and Krakoa exists and has just been established, and that's what the entire saga is about, the mutant saga or whatever. It's like, there's a Krakoa, there's a mutant nation. I think that would be cool. Like, that's the backbone, you know? And maybe they could do, oh my goodness, Judgment Day. I mean, that they did, because, like, Judgment Day, like, it would fall in line with what happened at the end of Eternals, where that Judge Celestial came and was like, I will judge you. And Judgment Day is basically sort of on that. So, and Judgment Day was a whole crossover between Eternals, Avengers, and X-Men. So, anyway, it would be interesting. So that's my ideal, that they do that. And if that is what they're doing, then I can see them having a plan where, like, let's take away Krakoa, let's have a think tank for Krakoa, so we can have perfect stories to kind of get us somewhere else that people aren't going to be disappointed in, because it's not going to be oh, by the way, we're just going to take away all this cool shit that we made for you. So hopefully that's happening, and they're like, we're going to take this away, we're going to then, as we get closer to finally revealing this new universe, we're going to get us back into Krakoa for the second age of Krakoa. And all the comic heads will be really excited, and we'll be like, X-Men, yeah, Krakoa, yeah. And then Krakoa on the big screen, and then it all kind of, like, we continue to promote it because it's Krakoa and it's freaking awesome, you know? That's what I'm hoping is going on. There's like, this is all part of some plan. So we, once again, have to have a gaping wound with some salt being poured over it. But eventually that wound will heal, and we will get like a bionic arm or some shit, and we're going to be more powerful than ever. You know, that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. But that may not happen. Okay, so Jonathan Hickman is doing, I think he's doing like some cosmic story. I think it's called Imperial or something. I don't know. It's called something. I think it's called Imperial, and it's happening this summer. In order for his story to happen, he needed Xavier to be taken into outer space again. So they did this whole hunt for Xavier thing, and it had like all the different groups of X-Men fighting against each other. Like, you know what's worse than separating all your favorite characters? Having them fight the only time they're together. What is going on here? Like, what is happening? It's so confusing. It's so confusing. So it's just like, I don't know. I lost my train of thought again. Look, this is the situation. I'm at the end of the video, by the way, so it's been about 30 minutes. I needed to get this off my chest, and I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening. And you know what? I hope everybody's doing as well as possible, and, you know, you're all moving forward in this crazy world that we all live in. Hey, we all have to deal with crazy shit. All humans have had to deal with crazy shit, like, throughout existence, so we just take it one day at a time. And do the best we can, and it all turns out as good as it can be. And you just keep going forward. I hope everybody's doing well, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you know, I love the fucking X-Men, but it's like, I know it's not the end of the world, but I just wanted to bitch for like 30 minutes about the X-Men, because that's how I feel about it right now. I feel like this. I feel frustrated. I feel angry. I feel disappointed. I feel let down. But at the same time, we do have 5 years worth of Krakoan comics, so at some point I'm going to just start reading that entire run again, and that'll be that. I won't read the current books for a while until I know something is happening that takes us in a better direction, you know? Hey, I'm just saying, I love the X-Men. I love the Krakoan story so much, and Arakko was such a step forward too. Oh, and I remember there was one thing that I wanted to say earlier that I forgot, but this is important that I mention this. Like, I remember I was thinking, like, they gave up the Hellfire Gala, which was like this really cool thing where, like, they made a bunch of, they got to make a bunch of really cool variants, like themed variants throughout the Hellfire Gala season. Like, they got to have all of the Marvel characters in like really unique fashions and whatnot. So they got rid of all that. That was like a really cool thing that they had built out from the Krakoan era. And then, so recently they announced so that was always called the Hellfire Gala, for those that don't read the comics. And now they just announced the Hellfire Vigil. So I think that it's going to be the same sort of idea, but like the idea around it is going to be sad. They're all going to be mourning Krakoa, probably. It's like, first of all, why did it take over a year to do this? Second of all, like, you're going to take something cool and you're going to make it all sad and dreary, like, without any hope. Like, it's just so gross. Just so that you can do the designs again and do the variants and whatnot. I don't know. I hope that's not what's going on. Obviously, I'm just speculating about that. But at the same time, like, I don't have high hopes that it's something better, like optimistic. You know? I don't know. I'm really disappointed right now with all this stuff. But I'm really excited about... I'm really, 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 really excited about the MCU. Just, Fantastic Four, I'm very, very excited about. I love the direction that they went with it. A new universe that has like a 60s, like retro futuristic aesthetic. Like it's Jetsons aesthetic type of thing. But it's not the 60s because it's an alternate universe. So, you know, developed differently. And then somehow that bleeds into our universe and it involves Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. I don't know. But it's going to be really interesting to see how it all kind of works itself out. I'm very interested in this. This is going to be interesting as shit. All right. So, yeah. So all that, you know, we're going to... and also, you know... Damn, man. You know, X-Men 97 Season 2, man, like, I want to be excited, but the whole Beau DeMaio, you know, controversy and him being taken out and them kind of reworking things and involving the people that did What If. I did not like the direction of What If after, like, Season 1. Overall, I mean, they were fine, but it wasn't, like, next level, like, just... I just don't want that to happen to X-Men. And like when you hear from Beau DeMaio about what his plans were going to be, it sounds great. I feel like X-Men cartoons are cursed because like when Wolverine and the X-Men was coming out, like that was like oh finally, because look, we watched X-Men in the 90s, it was good. Then you had X-Men Evolution. Some people love that stuff because they grew up with it. I don't love it because it's based on the sort of a similar context to the movies where they de-aged a bunch of characters, like they made Rogue young and shit. Like, and then it was all kitty stuff until really like season 4 or 5 it picked up, and season 5 for sure like was like the best. But before that, it was like just annoying teenage shit and like, hey, if you're a teenager and you identify with that, I completely respect that. I just didn't have that connection. And I didn't like this, just how different it was. And then we had Wolverine and the X-Men, and that was pretty much exactly what I wanted it to be. It was very similar to the comics, but at the time, but also kind of had its own flavor. And it was cool, you know? Season 1 was magnificent, the entire season. And then it teased an Age of Apocalypse, and we never got it. And then Beau DeMaio said that he was going to do an Age of Apocalypse for X-Men 97, but now we may not get that. And it's like, fuck. Like, are we just doomed to never get a really awesome, like, animated adaptation of Age of Apocalypse? Because, my God, I remember when X-Men Apocalypse was going to come out. And Simon Kinberg, who, I'm sorry, like, I'm sure from an executive standpoint, I'm sure he's great. His instincts are horrible with respect to the X-Men. And it's so clear that he doesn't get it. Like, and I remember when X-Men Apocalypse was going to come out, and that's what there were 3 original X-Men films, a Wolverine film, and then there was First Class, and then Apocalypse was after Days of Future Past. So, you know, there's like, 6 or 7 movies? 7 movies, 8 movies in or something at that point. And this guy, in some interview, said, yeah, you know, the story of Age of... Like, he was talking about the X-Men Apocalypse, the movie he was making. He with reference to that movie and, like, in his mind, the adaptation to the storyline of Age of Apocalypse, he was commenting, and I was like, so wait, this is not possible, because I believe I'd seen a trailer by that point, and, like, it was clear they weren't doing the Age of Apocalypse storyline. But he was saying that in the comics, the Age of Apocalypse, this and that. And I was just like, okay, this motherfucker doesn't know what he's talking about. And this is like the producer of like the 7th or the 8th film, and he doesn't know that Age of Apocalypse is like a very specific storyline. And there is an overall Apocalypse story in Marvel because he existed as a villain, but he doesn't have a storyline that's specific to him named Age of Apocalypse, aside from the one that involves Legion going back in time, killing Magneto, trying to kill Magneto, killing Xavier by accident, causing an alternate present where Apocalypse rules, right? And that's just a reflection of why the Fox films just never quite got it. And it is what it is. But now, I believe with Kevin Feige and Marvel, we're going to get some really, really, really wonderful X-Men adaptations. And I can't wait for them. We're going to talk all about that shit because I'm going to be here and you're going to be here and we're going to talk about it. Anyway, I hope y'all are doing as well as possible. And as always, I want to remind you that if you have not already, you better put an X in the box because ain't nobody checking me. Ain't nobody checking this one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.